Yes, dear students, in this video we are going to discuss on the concept of brainstorming. We are going to discuss the concept of the brainstorming. This is one techniques which are used to get the creative ideas from the participants or from the employees or the group of the people. Okay, so this is one group technique which is used by the used to collect the creative ideas or to develop the alternatives to the solution to the towards the solution of the problem. Okay, so what is brainstorming, students? So the brainstorming is the group or an individual creativity technique. It is the group or an individual creative techniques by which efforts are made to find the conclusion for a specific problem by gathering a list of ideas spontaneously which are contributed by its member. Okay, so this is the group techniques basically where the efforts are made to find the a best solution or a best specific a best conclusion or a solution to the a specific problem by gathering the list of ideas spontaneously, by gathering the multiple ideas or the too many alternatives from the each individuals spontaneously which are contributed by the members. Okay, the term the brainstorming was popularized by Alex Finkley Osborne in the year of 1963 in his book called Applied Imagination. Applied Imagination. So Osborne claimed that brainstorming was more effective than individuals working alone in generating ideas. Although more recent research has questioned its conclusion, today the term used as a catch all for all the group ideas and session. Okay, so this basically this brainstorming is group techniques where the facilitators will be there. They will come and there are group of the people, the participants. The facilitator will come and will state the problems that is faced by the organization or the problem that they are facing, one problem. Then these participants are encouraged to give their ideas or their creativity solution or ideas to the problem. So at the end of the session you will have the list of the at the end of the session you will have the list of the list of the solution or the list of the alternatives or the list of the option that are available towards the problem. Okay, so that is what the brainstorming. So one problem will be given and each people are asked to encourage to give their own ideas. So you will get generate the list of the ideas or the n number of the ideas you will be having. Then the later you will select these later you will select the best idea at the in order to conclude the problem. So brainstorming is the group or the individual activity where the efforts to made to find a ultimately to find a conclusion for the specific problem by collecting the list of the ideas spontaneously which are contributed by the members. Okay, the term was popularized by Alex Fekney Osborne in the year of 1963. Okay, in his 63 which is called as applied imagination. So he claimed that brainstorming is more effective than individual working alone in generating the ideas. The principles of brainstorming is as follows: focus on the quantity. The rule is a means of enhancing the divergent production. So I said it is the divergent thinking, multiple number of the ideas, multiple idea generation techniques. This is idea generation techniques. Okay, so multiple divergent production aiming to facilitate problem solving through maximum quantity breeds over the quality. We are focusing on the quantity number of the alternatives that is generated is more important than the quality of the alternatives or the quality of the option or the solution that is contributed by the participants. The assumption is that greater the number of ideas is generated, the greater the chance of producing the effective solution. Okay, so this is based on the idea that if the number of the solutions or ideas are generated is more, then there is a greater chance of producing the effective solution. Okay, so the focus on the quantity rather than the quality. So the main the objectives here is to get the principle is to focus on the quantity, and it is about collecting the maximum number of the ideas, maximum number of the ideas. Okay, so the quantity breeds over the quality, enhancing the divergent thinking, getting the maximum number of the solution or the problem, solution or alternatives to the problems. So next, withhold the criticism. In brainstorming session, the criticism of idea generator should be put on hold. So the criticizing, that is not good, this idea is very bad, this idea is good, so that evaluation should not be taken place at the brainstorming. That should be kept it for the later stages on the brainstorming. That is generating the ideas, generating the idea, collecting the ideas. During that time, the criticism, like the this is not good, that is good, such things should not be taken place, it should be put on the hold. Instead, participants should focus on extending or adding the ideas, reserving the criticism for later. So the participants are encouraged to add the ideas, adding to the ideas, or should focus on the extending or adding to the ideas, then reserving the criticism for a later stage. Okay, the reserve, keeping the criticism for the at the end of the session, you can evaluate which are the best and you can select the best one. So but during the brainstorming, criticism should not take place. By suspending the judgment, participant will feel free to generate the unusual ideas. So by suspending the judgment, like when the solutions or the ideas are contributed by the participants, if you do not judge that, then the participant will feel free to give their unusual ideas. Next, welcome unusual ideas. So the third principle is to welcome the unusual ideas. So to get a good and long list of the ideas, unusual ideas should be welcomed. Okay, so to get a long list of the ideas, unusual ideas should be welcome. They can be generated by looking from the new perspectives and suspending the assumption. These can be generated by, they can be generated by looking from the new perspective or suspending the assumption. These new ways of thinking may provide a better solution. To get a good and long list of the ideas, unusual ideas should be welcome. They can be generated by looking from the new perspectives and suspending the assumption. These new way of thinking may provide the better solution. Unusual ideas should be welcomed. Okay, so that can be, unusual idea can be generated by looking from the new perspectives, or suspending the judgmental. So these new ways of thinking may provide a better solution. Combine and improve the ideas. Good ideas may be combined to form a single better ideas. Okay, as suggested by the slogan 1 plus 1 3. 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. That is the synergy. Okay, so the good ideas may be combined. The two good ideas can be combined to produce a one single better good idea. So when you combine these two, 1 plus 1 in one, two good ideas put together, that the outcome, the results of that will be the more. Okay, result that will be the more. That is why it is called as 1 plus 1 is 3. It is believed that stimulate the building of ideas by the process of association. By putting this together or associating this together, the ideas will be the better. Next, applications. So Osborne notes that brainstorming should address a specific question. He held that session addressing the multiple question were inefficient. So the brainstorming session should address the specific question. So why, the, as I said, the facilitator will be there and will state the problem. So the problem should be only one. There should not be a multiple problem, should not be addressed in the brainstorming session. Then if it is a multiple problems are there, then it could be a inefficient one. Further, the problem must require generation of ideas rather than judgment. The problem must require the generation of the ideas rather than judgment. He uses examples such as generating the possible names for a product as a proper brainstorming material, whereas analytical judgments such as whether or not to marry do not any need for brainstorming. So further, the problem just require the generation of the ideas rather than judgment. Here generation of the ideas are more important rather than judgment. For example, generating the possible name for a product. Okay, generating the possible names for the product as a proper brainstorming. You can have different names for the product instead of analyzing whether to take the or not. So such things should not be not there. So groups. Osborne envisioned the a group for the brainstorming should not be more than around 12 participants, it including the both the experts and the novices. So the participants are encouraged to provide wild and unexpected answers. They are encouraged to provide the unexpected answers. Uh, Ideas receives no criticism or no judgmental, no criticism or ideas receive no criticism. The group simply provides ideas that might lead to the solution and apply no analytical judgment as to the feasibility. So the group members will simply they will provide the idea which might lead to the solution, and they apply no analytical judgment to the suitability of the solution. The judgment are reserved for the later stage. Okay, so these are the variations. These are the different name that is called for the the brainstorming. They are the nominal group technique, group passing techniques, team idea mapping method, breaking the rules technique, directed brainstorming, guided brainstorming, individual brainstorming, question brainstorming. These are the variations that is available for the brainstorming. So next it is the what are the challenges for the effective brainstorming. One is blocking, because only one participant may give an idea at one time, so other participant might forget the idea they were going to contribute or not share it, because they see it as longer it is no longer important or relevant. Okay, so here one participant will give the idea at one time, so other participants when his terms comes, he might forget the idea that is generated, or he may feel that this idea is already given by somebody else, so this is not no longer important. So the collaborative fixation, exchanging the ideas in a group may reduce the number of domains that the group explores for additional ideas. Member may also confirm that. Okay, so exchanging the ideas may reduce the number of the areas that the group is going to explore. So the member may also confirm their ideas to those of other members. They may think that their ideas similar to their others idea, so they decrease the thinking of variety of the ideas. Evaluation afference. Okay, the evaluation afferences was determined to occur only in instance of personal evaluation. If the assumption of collective assessment were in place, a real-time judgment of ideas, or ostensibly an induction of evaluation afference, failed to induce the significant variance. So evaluation afference was occur only in the situations of the personal evaluation. Okay, so it is the assumption of collective assessment were in place, real judgment of ideas in a personal evaluation, evaluating the soon that the ideas are generated, ideas are given immediately, that evaluating that should not be takes place. Free riding, individual may feel that their ideas are less valuable when combined with the ideas of group in large. Okay, the individual may feel that their ideas are less valuable when it is combined to the ideas of the group. Okay, for example, like when it is a they may think that the credit is not given to them, their ideas will have a value. It is when it is combined to the ideas of others. That is why that is the another challenges for the effective brainstorming. So these are the challenges to the effective brainstorming. So in this class we have discussed about the brainstorming, meaning of brainstorming, principles of brainstorming, and the relevance of the applications of the brainstorming, and the challenges to the brainstorming. So that's all about the brainstorming, students. Thank you.